Welcome to episode 24 of Queer on the El Paso. Celebrate together now.
Whether you live in El Paso, Las Cruces, or Ciudad Juarez, we are all citizens of this vibrant region. While each city offers its distinct characteristics, the LGBTQ communities have always found common ground.
Our neighbors in Las Cruces, New Mexico are gearing up for their annual Pride celebration in late September. It began in 1990 when Southern New Mexico Pride hosted their first celebration in Las Cruces. Today, they have become a strong volunteer organization that hosts events year-round.
Our guest today is Robert Williams, who serves as the chairperson for Southern New Mexico Pride. We talked to him about the many events we can look forward to this year. Robert, welcome to Queer on the El Paso.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about how you first got involved with the Pride organization, what motivated you, and how you came to become the chairperson.
I came out in 2015, and when I came out, I was looking for, I knew there was a Pride celebration in June, and I came out in January-ish, so I started trying to contact them, and because I knew there would be a Pride celebration, and they got back with me and said they needed help planning the Pride celebration that year, which was at the time it was Pride on the Park at Pioneer Park here in Las Cruces. So I got involved, helped out with that. After that, they asked me if I'd be interested in joining the board, and then probably a year or two later, I became chair for the board. So, and I've been chair since then. I've been involved since, so for 10 years now. I've been involved with Southern New Mexico Pride.
And when you say you came out, you meant you came out of the closet?
Yes.
So in 2015.
In 2015.
So in 10 years, you went from being in the closet to now head of a Pride organization. That's quite a journey. What have you learned along the way?
I tend to, whenever I get involved with organizations, I tend to jump in, completely. I get in over my head a lot of times. So it's like, but I tend, if it's something I'm passionate about, I just go for it full force. So I didn't intend to be chair, that soon after, and to be chair as long as I've been. But it's something I'm proud to be involved with, and to see how the Pride celebration has grown in Las Cruces since the first event we did. As I said, in 2015 we had the Pride on the park. That fall we did an event just to test out a fall event, and which we did in October, and that turned out fairly well, and that's what kind of just made us decide to go ahead and move the Pride celebration to October. So it's like, and I'm proud of how it's grown in the last 10 years since we did that. So it's like, so
tell us a little bit about the sense of community that you obviously identified with when you began to volunteer for the organization 10 years ago. So tell us a little bit about the character of the organization, how it's changed or evolved over these 10 years that you've been involved.
I don't know that. I mean, I was surprised at how when I came out and got involved with Pride, I was somewhat surprised at the community, that there was as big of a community in Las Cruces. I mean, having been in the closet before that, I wasn't out, so I didn't know as many people and everything. But since getting involved, I've been and everyone I talk to that's moved here and everything like that, everyone seems to be surprised at how large the community is, and beyond that, how welcome everything has been. So it's like, I mean, we don't, there's never been any pushback from any other organizations or anything like that, knock on wood, it'll stay that way. But it's like, I've been very impressed with Las Cruces and the Pride, or the LGBTQ plus community. It's very active and
And the Las Cruces community as well. I mean, it seems that if you haven't gotten any pushback and you've gotten a lot of support, it seems to me like it's a great place, a good starting point for a very successful Pride organization.
Yes, yeah, it is. We get we have a lot of regular people at our Pride celebration with the vendors that we set up that they love our event. It's their favorite event, and it's like, and we get a lot of comments about when during the event how welcoming everyone is and how happy everybody is. It's like it's not it's been amazing to see how that one day how much it can be how much love can be expressed.
How many people do you expect or have you experienced in the past attending? Any approximate numbers?
The last 3 or 4 years, we've had over 3,000 people attend. When we first started, I think that very first one we did in the fall, we probably had about 400 people, and then the next year probably 600 or 700. A couple years later, or the one after that, the city was counting the numbers of people. They had some sort of way of counting cell phones or something like that they were able to track, and they notified us that we had about close to 1,500 people, and then since then it's just grown. So once we added the parade in 3 years ago, it's just it's kind of ballooned a lot.
Congratulations!
That's quite a feat. And one of the things, of course, that sets you all apart, particularly in this area, we were talking on the way over here that really El Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez were kind of sibling communities,
yes.
But ultimately we kind of are one.
Yeah.
And I think that you all did something extremely beneficial for all of us in that you're not competing with other Pride events in the area, but rather you're providing a different time of year, different types of celebrations. And so how did it come about that you all decided to do your Pride celebrations in September, October? What happened that led to that decision?
It's too hot in June.
Well, it's that simple, isn't it? I mean, you made a fan in me.
Yeah.
I know that Dallas does theirs in the fall, or had done theirs in the fall for that reason.
Yeah, there are some other ones. I know Silver City does theirs usually in September. This year Deming is doing theirs after ours. I think they're doing it a week after they're doing a Pride celebration. But there are a lot of cities around the U.S. That have moved things when it's a little cooler and everything. And the advantage of doing it in October, it's National Coming Out Month, so it also coincides with that also.
Work very well.
Yeah, exactly.
What has been your personal most enriching experience?
I think the thing that I'm most proud of, and that kind of like wells me up, is going. When I first started, it was primarily the Pride, Southern New Mexico Pride, that did the planning and everything for it. We had we had to cancel it one of the years because we couldn't get volunteers. We couldn't get people to help with the planning. And there was, at that time, our board had dropped down to just a few people, and we couldn't plan it with that many people. And we would go to other organizations and say, we need help. And they'd say, well, come to the meetings, just send us the dates. So we'd send them the dates, and we'd have a meeting, and no one would show up. We wound up deciding to cancel it that year, and we posted a notice that they will be canceling the Pride celebration. Immediately got calls from everybody and saying, it's like, why are you doing this? And we told them, and a lot of the organizations said, we'd help. And I said, you've said that, but you don't show up. Every time we do a meeting, no one shows up. So immediately the next year after that, we started we have the Pride board, and then we have a Pride planning committee. And the planning committee consists of, we call our partner organizations, which is PFLAG Las Cruces, Alianza, New Mexico, FYI, and La Vida Project. And I don't know if I'm forgetting anyone else, but we've got a group of people now that actually help plan the Pride. And the thing that I've always stated is it's a community event. It needs to be planned by the community. It can't just be one organization that takes on the roles of making the decisions and everything for it. I think in the end, Southern New Mexico Pride has the sort of final say in things because we're the financial aspect for it. But I'm really proud that it's actually it's a group of people now. It's not just me or our board that's doing it. It's a lot of other people that are not necessarily on our board that are just want to get involved and help out, and they've made it much bigger than what it is.
And what about the parade? How did that start?
Well, ever since I've been doing this, we always get asked, why did we do a parade? And at the time, again, it was the same thing. We didn't have the resources to do a parade. That's a huge endeavor to take on. And we didn't have the volunteers. We didn't have the money. We couldn't do it. And we'd always, anytime anyone asked, we'd say, if someone wants to take it on, we'll support it. And no one would take it on. So 3 years ago, FYI stepped up, which is Family Youth Incorporated, stepped up and said, we'll do it. it, so they take on and they do the parade, and it was just a huge success. And that's another thing I'm really proud of, is the fact that we were able to get another organization that has a lot of pull in the state and a lot of support, and has the resources and the volunteers and stuff that can put on something like that and be able to put that as part of our event. So we're really glad that's happening.
That's an important collaboration. I think of PFLAG and other organizations to help bring things to the table, because it truly is a community project.
Yes.
It's not just one particular organization.
Yes.
But to that end, your Pride organization, I want to keep on calling it Southwest. It's Southern New Mexico Pride organization is a nonprofit.
Yes.
And any money raised goes back to the maintenance of the organization, I assume, in the community. Is that right?
I'd say 90% of all monies raised go directly to the Pride celebration. For the most part, just about break even. Well, we do break even. We haven't lost any money yet. We try to end the Pride, end the year with at least a couple $1,000s in the bank just to keep us going. And last year we dipped into that because of we wound up being short a little bit on the fundraising. So we're working harder this year to try to get that, get the monies back up. But we do, almost a bit of it goes into the Pride celebration.
And what kind of fundraising efforts do you all conduct in leading up to?
Well, primarily it's just going after sponsors. We've been lucky that a vast majority of our sponsors are regular. They do it every year. And so we sort of have kind of almost a guaranteed. We were a little concerned this year because of all the stuff coming out from the federal government and the issues and things like that. And we did lose one of our sponsors that we typically have because of that. But the other sponsors stepped up and said, no, we're still there. So it's primarily that. We do I think we'll talk about one of our first events is the Rainbow Drinks for the Pride celebration, but that's a monthly event. We do it every month, always the last Wednesday of the month. And that one we typically do, people will donate door prizes and bring them, and we'll do a drawing there for door prizes, sort of a donation fundraiser for that. And we usually raise a couple $100 at each one of those. We get a lot of support. And then just a lot of the local community, the LGBTQ community will step up.
Well, and to that end, let's go ahead and talk about some of the incredible events that you all have planned, and it's a number of them.
Oh, yeah.
But it does begin on the 24th of September, which is a Wednesday, with the monthly Pride Rainbow Drinks, but that will also serve as your kickoff for the Pride celebrations. So what can somebody expect if they decide to do that? What is it? Tell us a little bit more about what the vibe is.
Rainbow Drinks, that's another thing we started probably 8 years ago, and it has been going every month since then, other than during the lockdown. But even then, we did a Zoom, and we would get the very first couple we had dozens of people at, and after it kind of died down after a little while. But then we come up, and it's a social event. It's always at Salud de Mesilla, and it's 6 to 8. All the people stick around longer and come earlier. And they just give us the back patio is ours, and it's just people just come in, hang out, meet other people, talk, sit and talk to other people, or come with a group of people, and we'll sit and do. And so it's just a social event that people just get together. We make announcements of things that are coming up, and other organizations will come and announce what they have coming up. It's just a great event. It's a very popular event. We usually get 50, 60 people at it.
So it's a social and kind of a community meeting.
Yes.
It kind of brings everybody together, and it's nice to have that once a month. That's really neat.
Yeah.
So just the very next day, though, your Pride celebration after the kickoff continues. So tell us about what happens the day after that.
On another gentleman here in town, one of our community members started up it's called Giddy Up Queer Night, and it's at Grounded downtown on Main Street, and it's every last Thursday of the month, and it is a monthly event also. So we're coinciding with theirs on there, and they're going to actually do a drag loteria that night for that event, and it's another social event. People just come, they get food or drinks, whatever they want, sit and talk. They usually have some sort of activities that they do with those and things each month, but it's completely volunteer led, and they don't have any funding. So it's so this year they've got other organizations kind of donating prizes for the drag loteria, and we're going to be donating some stuff for them for the drag loteria and things. But it'll be a fun evening also with
that. Should be fun.
And it's a cool place. If anybody, it's a very cool place. I think that Grounded is a really nice little place right in old downtown Las Cruces. And it's got a really cool vibe, and I can imagine. See, it's making me want to go. But so I just finished watching The Gilded Age, and so now the next day you have the Pride Ball. I'm all about balls right now, so I'm preparing my gown as we speak. So I'd like to know what that's all about. Then let me know what I can wear.
Okay. Well, that's done by La Vida Project. Puts that on. The time and location still are being worked out. So on that, so it'll get announced. But it basically comes out of the 1970s balls that they used to do in New York, the Pride balls. So basically, what it is they'll have several categories, and they also do drag show during it. So it's a full night of events and everything like that. People come dressed up, but they have they'll post a list when they get the more details out. They'll have a list of categories, and they have competitions. So it's just basically, it's not you just walk, they play the music or whatever, and you walk, do your performance. They have judges that kind of judge it. The judges will pick 3 or 4 people and ask them to do another walk, and then they'll pick a winner for each of the categories. You're just performing, doing what what you
that reminds me of the Vogue.
It's very similar to the Vogue. Yes.
It sounds to me like Izzy and I have to get our number on the road. Give you all some competition from El Paso. But that sounds like a great time. And upcoming details on the Pride Ball can also be found as soon as we're apprised of it at queeronda.com. The next day, which is Saturday, September 27th, what else do you have on the agenda here? It is a Pride drag show.
Yes, that's again at Salud de Mesilla, and its seating will start at 6. It's a $10 cover. And that is Ivana Bump is the one that hosts that, and so it's at Salud on the patio there, and it's just a fun night of she usually has her and then another couple of performers, and they just perform throughout the night.
Good wholesome night of drag.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
that is a Saturday the 27th.
That's
right?
Saturday.
So then the next day is Sunday. So honestly, if somebody really wanted to take part of the kickoff of the Pride, they can come and spend the whole weekend in Los Angeles. Without a doubt. So there's some ideas. Now, tell us about the Sunday picnic. That is on the 28th.
That is, PFLAG does that. And I think they also work with Glisten and a couple other organizations that will help with that. And that they do at it's Presidio Park. It's on the NMSU campus. And there'll be more details of where that is and everything on there. It's going to be this year. It's going to be in the evening, and again, they're still working on the exact times, but it'll be in early, probably 4, 5, 6-ish kind of a time frame. And they will have it's a family event kind of a thing. So they'll have things for the kids. They'll have activities. I know in the past they've done shaving cream baseball and different things.
How fun!
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So it's
I was going to ask about how involved the university is with your events.
They always are at the event. They have new leadership. The LGBTQ programs there has new leadership now who's gotten a little more involved. So they're working on getting more involved with them, and we're working close. We work with them. They usually do a drag show in the spring and in the fall. So we work with them also with that and kind of just try to support that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
So after that weekend of partying and fun and gayness, it's time to get spiritual, I guess. So you all have an interfaith Pride service. Tell us about that. That's on Monday the 29th.
The Monday the 29th at 5:30. It'll be on Plaza de Las Cruces. Multiple faith organizations here in town that will get together, and so it's a non-denominational. Everyone's just going to get together to express their spirituality and their and love for each other. So it's like, and it's nice that it's not one denomination. Any organization, any religious organization that is friendly to the LGBTQ community will participate, and they'll have some prayer services and stuff that they'll be doing there. 5:30 to about 6:30, 7-ish, so that anyone from there can go directly to the game night, which is the next event that night. So
just going back to the spirituality aspect and your also interfaith Pride service, I think that's a great great way to build community. I mean, you know, you have people from different church organizations or different types of faiths come and celebrate together. I think that's a very wonderful thing for the community to do, and it helps build those bonds between all of us. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, and I want to, you know, it kind of, oh God, it was three or 4 years ago. It was the Episcopal churches of Las Cruces that came to us and said we want to do a service, and they did a service that year. It was 3 years ago, I think, at the Episcopal church. And since then, they've come back and they've actually started working with the UU church and all the other churches in town and stuff, and kind of work together now to put this on as a multi faith thing. So
I think that's a great event for Pride celebrations. I think that we could learn from that. I think that's really amazing. But then after that service or that gathering, we should say there's a game night, which is, tell us about that.
Yep, and it's game GAYME.
They're putting the gay in game.
Game.
Or it's the gay me.
The game,
Yes, you are.
And that's at Rad Retrocade downtown Las Cruces again. And they'll do a trivia night that night, but again, it's just another, you know, event. People just come, hang out, you know, play games there or whatever, and then they do the trivia night. And they usually on that night try to gear it towards the LGBTQ side of it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
After we all get spiritual and play our games, it's time to sing. So tell us a little bit about the event on Tuesday, September 30th. What's that all about? Tell us about the concert we can look forward to attending.
So, in collaboration with Singing Out Las Cruces, which is the LGBTQ plus choir here in town, and Allies choir. And it's not so much a concert, it'll be some sort of a sing-along or some sort of an event that they do. They do concerts throughout a couple times a year.
I'm warming up as we speak.
They're always happy to have more people.
You haven't heard me sing. You might regret telling me that. So that'll be again, the time and location are still being worked out on that one. Last year they did bingo, sort of a singing bingo event. I don't know what they're planning this year. I'm still working that out with them. But that'll be, you know, it'll be a couple hours that they do there, and it's a free event. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's welcome. Families.
Singing bingo sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it does. That's a good idea. Yeah, and then the next night, Wednesday, October 1st, you have Pride Movie Night.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
That's another one of PFLAG. PFLAG, along with the Brannigan Library and the Rio Grande Theater, kind of work together, and they do a movie night. Doors will probably open at 5. The movie will start about 6. We don't know the movie yet. They haven't determined that yet, but that'll be coming out. And again, it's a free event for anybody, and it's at the Rio Grande Theater.
That's a great theater.
So,
and that's a lot of fun too. So and like I said, you know, I know that a lot of the details are forthcoming. So again, we want to encourage everybody to find the information on the web. We just wanted to let our listeners know about all the things that are happening in southern New Mexico towards the end of September, beginning of October, so that we can plan to attend and help support these events. The next thing, of course, is, speaking of my incredible singing voice, is karaoke.
Yes.
So karaoke is on October 2nd at Little Toad Creek. What can we expect there? And are you going to be performing?
No. I'm also not, no one wants to hear me sing. But I chase them away. But yes, that Little Toad Creek will do the Pride karaoke. So basically, people just show up, sign up. They have someone there doing it, and you just sign up. We tell everyone, bring your gay anthem and get up there and belt it out.
Very cool.
And that starts at 7 and then goes, you know, pretty much all night.
That's amazing.
As long as people want to sing. So
that is really amazing. So that's on Thursday, October 2nd. And if you don't like any of the singers, you can tell them to take a hike. Yeah. Because it just so happens that on the very next day, there is a Pride hike. Tell us about that, because that's a very unique thing to this area. I think it's a great event to get people together and kind of get them out and about. So tell us about that.
That also, again, PFLAG is the one that kind of organizes that, and they also work with Friends of the Oregon Mountain Monument, and believe they're doing Slot Canyon, which is going towards Radium Springs in that area there. Typically what they'll do do, and again, as they get the details worked out, they'll put a notice. They typically meet at some place here in town, and then kind of carpool or follow each other out, and then the Friends of the Oregon Mountain sort of lead the hike for that, and that'll probably start at about 6. Again, I'll kind of cool down a little bit. Yeah. They need to get it done before it gets dark.
It's a nice quick jaunt up a mountain.
Yeah.
You'll notice that I haven't said I'll be participating in that.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
It's a very beautiful hike.
Oh no, I'd love to. No, I'm joking. I think it is a beautiful time, and it's a great time of year.
Yeah.
And that is truly celebrating one of the very unique things that Las Cruces has to offer. That's beautiful.
Mountains are beautiful.
Yeah. And it's like you keep those, if you're going on it, you do have to climb a fence to get to the hike. So it's like it's a gate thing there that's one of the things that Oregon Mountain is trying to work out the access to it. But you can, you're not breaking any laws or anything like that. But
it just feels like
you might be talking to the wrong crowd about that. Like, I have no problem jumping fences. Izzy and I have done that many times.
Yeah, that's you get the rebel and you can
it kind of brings us back to our youth. But then all of this is kind of like the big event, which is your parade. I'm very excited about this, and I didn't even know that it existed until this year. So that's my bad, but I'm assuming that I'm one of many other El Pasoans that don't know about it. So tell us all about that.
So yes, again, FYI is the one that kind of leads this, but it's the Pride Parade. It'll begin at 4:00. It basically runs down from, if you're familiar with Las Cruces, the north end of downtown, which is the roundabout, there all the way up to Bowman, which is on the south end. The very first year they did it, they had 20-some participants in it, floats and walkers and stuff. And last year I think they had 30-some. So we get a lot of people are excited about that. It starts at 4:00. The parade itself starts at 4:00 and will end about 5, and which is right when we're opening the gate. Well, we open the gates at 4:30 for the Pride celebration on the plaza. So you can come, sit, watch the parade, and then head over to the plaza.
If somebody wants to enter a float, how do they do that?
If you go to our website, once they're working on the registration forms for it. Last I had talked to them. So as soon as they get that up and running, we'll have a link to it on our website. But that's through FYI. So it's like, and I think it's, I don't know what the cost is exactly, but it's typically, around $20, $25, something like that. It's a really low, it's not a lot to enter a float into, or to walk.
Well, and I think that's just an integral part of any Pride celebration is the parade. And God knows we all love a parade. I think there might be a song about that. See, you can't help us. We're going to burst into song here in a minute.
Well, and I'll encourage everyone, what's happened in the past when they do it is it's basically the whole route of downtown. Everyone congregates right around the plaza. So it gets really packed. You can't find seating. You're standing and everything like that. You can spread out because it's going to start at one end and it'll go all the way to the other end. So you'll see the whole parade. So don't feel you have to cram in with 1,000 other people right in one spot. There's plenty of space down there.
And how supportive is the community for it? Do you have, what kind of numbers do you see at the parade?
So we get a couple thousand people that will come for the parade. So and then they come over to the Pride celebration afterwards.
Yeah, the Pride celebration is in the plaza there, right? After the parade, it is a time to eat, drink, and be merry. M-A-R-Y, merry. So tell us what we can do at the celebration.
So the Pride on the celebration is 5 to 10. The gates will open about 4:30, and this is the community event. This is the big event. We have live entertainment. There'll be a drag show, some other performers. There'll be music. There'll be a DJ playing for people to dance when they want to, between performers and things like that. And then we have all of our community partners, all the booths. We have over 50 booth spots, and there's people selling stuff. There are people giving information. So you get a lot of organizations that will come and give you information about their organization. All of them LGBTQ friendly, and it's just a wonderful event. It's the like I said, the it's just a ton of fun just to hang out, listen to music. We have, seating for people just to sit and watch the performers and do that. There is alcohol service that's on the plaza. The plaza will be fenced off. There is no cost. And that's one of the things that's unique to our Pride is we do not charge. We want to keep it that way so that we're not disenfranchising anybody from coming if there's any kind of if you can't afford to pay an entry fee or anything like that.
No exclusion.
No exclusion. Yes, everybody is welcome. Families are welcome, but there is alcohol service there. But there is other people. There will be people that are selling lemonades and stuff like that, and we do have food trucks too that will be there. So if you can pick up something for dinner and just hang out and enjoy all of the entertainment and all the sights and everything. So
and that is, like I said, that's really the culmination of your Pride celebrations right there.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful time of year. That'll be on October 4th, which is a Saturday.
Yes.
And so the parade begins at 4.
Yes.
And so immediately after that, it goes on to 10 o'clock or so at night where people can enjoy themselves through the evening. And again, the time of year is perfect for that sort of outdoor entertainment. Yeah. So that's great. So after
Plaza de Las Cruces.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. That's the plaza downtown, Plaza de Las Cruces. Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like so.
And so then now to cap things off, there's nothing better than a little brunch. And so that is on Sunday, the 5th. So tell us about the brunch at Chachi's.
Chachi's. It's at Chachi's downtown, which just opened about a month or so ago. They did it last year for us. Chachi's is typically not open on Sundays. They open for us. And they did last year at their Espina location because the downtown one wasn't done yet. It was a huge success. We basically filled up the place. They have a special menu that they serve for that, and then we have drag performers during the brunch and stuff. So that goes 11 to 2, and it's again open to everyone. The Chachi's downtown is a little bigger, so we have a little bit more space to get people in and stuff. And it was a ton of fun last year. It was so we're really excited about that.
Woo. Well, that is a long itinerary of really cool and interesting, and what I think the most, you guys, is a unique Las Cruces style event. So that's really a lot of fun, and I can't express to you enough how grateful that we should be to have organizations like yours organizing these events, because they are very important and they're a cornerstone of what has been the gay and lesbian movement over the years in our history. And so it's very important, and also a nice way to offer new events to El Pasoans too, to come out here and support a great cause, and feel the sense of community and family
and inclusion
and enjoy yourself and have a good time. So Robert, I thank you very much for your time. I wish you and your entire organization a great deal of success with this year's Pride events, and look for us there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're excited to have El Paso, as part of it. And in the past, I've gotten comments from people who've come up from El Paso who always comment about our Pride celebration, that they can bring their kids. It's a fun, it's an event that the family can come to.
Very important.
So those people that have,
and if you can't make one, there's a myriad of events to choose from, and it's just it's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So that sounds like a great time. Yeah. Once again, good luck to you, and we'll see you the end of September, the beginning of October.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Well, you guys, that was pretty informative. I had no idea that the Las Cruces LGBTQ community was so active and that they host their Pride events in the fall. I think that's brilliant.
And that they're so organized and they have so much going on. I had no idea.
I know, right? Yeah. And some of it's kind of fun. And what I really like about it is that it kind of captures the whole style of Las Cruces, and it involves that whole Southern New Mexico vibe. And it's just something really unique and a lot of fun. And certainly a lot of work goes into planning it, but it is really important for our communities to support each other. So I want as many El Pasoans to go out there and take part in some of these events.
Yeah, especially because they do such a good job of having all the different LGBTQ organizations sponsor an event. They have different events for all ages, and they have a lot of variety.
And considering that they are a substantially smaller community than El Paso, they really have done a great job of creating a program of events and coordinating all these different efforts. And they actually enjoy a lot of support from the city of Las Cruces, which I think is something that we should appreciate.
Yeah.
And they have a nice buy-in from their community as well, including now that they're having their Pride Parade.
Yeah. And I like that their Pride Fest is free. And there's always something for people of all ages. I mean, it was really illuminating to know that was going on. But the thing that I love the most, even though it's not June Pride Month, is that it's in a month where the temperatures are cooler.
Yes.
So it's late September. It starts, I think, late September and runs through the first week of October. And it's kind of a whole different feel and vibe.
Right.
So I think that's really something to look forward to. And it's nice that they don't overlap with the Pride events here in El Paso.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all out there during Pride in June this year, sweltering in the heat and sweating like banshees.
I think I still have blisters, but I need to talk to my doctor about that. I had a lot of fun at Pride. Now, one of the things that we do remind people that the events, while some of them have not yet been completely planned out, we know when they are. And so I encourage you all to go to the websites to find out more information. Their website is snmprid.org. That's snmpride.org. And we will also host all of the information and all the latest updates on queeronda.com. So we hope to see you all out in Las Cruces. Make plans to attend. Let's support our sisters to the north and our brothers to the south, I guess. I don't know.
Get your Zia on.
Get your Zia on. Yeah, exactly. And let's have a good time in Las Cruces. So good luck to them and their efforts. We should support their community just as much as they support ours. And so all we can say this time is, Agarren la onda, queers.
We'd love to hear from you. Email us at feedback@queeronda.com or visit our website and leave a comment. www.queeronda.com. That's www.queeronda.com.